What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode of the 1 Second of Strength podcast. Grateful you're here. Grateful you're spending a couple of your seconds with me. For the first time, Putter is not down here. I think Putter's been in his feels a lot. Putter's my golden retriever dog, usually right here when I'm recording these, but I don't know. He's been in his feels a little bit, I think. So he wandered upstairs. No one's up there. He's alone upstairs. But grateful you're here. If you haven't done so already, if you could take 1 second of strength and just go leave a 5-star rating for the show, it helps a lot of other people find this. If this has been helpful for you in any way, then please do that and share the episode with someone. But today we're talking about your worth and knowing your worth. And the truth is, there's some non-negotiables in my life, and there's really 7 things I want to talk about today that we've got to stop accepting in our life when we know our worth, or to increase our worth. And so there's 7 things. We'll go through them pretty quick, but I want you to just take a minute and think about each one of these things and think, man, maybe there's 1 or 2 or 3 that you can improve on in your life to increase your worth or help other people recognize your worth, or maybe most importantly, so you don't diminish your own worth, because I think that's what we do a lot of times. A lot of times when we don't feel worthy of great things in our life, then we self-sabotage ourselves. And the reality is nothing's changed. Your worth is your worth, and it's incredible, and it's unmeasurable, and it's like, you just have to know, whether you're a teenager listening to this, whether you're a parent, adult, doesn't matter. Your worth is incredibly high. The moment you were born, your worth was set high. The moment that the Savior died on the cross for you, your worth was set. So we can't diminish that at all. But the thing is that sometimes we do that. Sometimes we do that, and it's the way we interact with other people. And so there's some non-negotiables that we can just basically right now today, I call them non-negotiables because we're not negotiating. You're not negotiating with your mind. You're not negotiating with other people. These are the things that are set in stone in our lives that we're not going to change. We're not going to adjust, because when we know our worth, we don't let anybody else diminish it, including ourselves. We don't let other people walk all over us. We know what we're worth, and we do not accept less. So here we go. Number 1, we've got to stop compromising our values. Stand up for what you know. Stand up for your worth. And if there's people in your life, there's scenarios or there's moments in your life where you are being asked to compromise your values. By the way, we need to set some values in our lives. We need to say, I will never do this. I will never, walk away from my faith. I will never treat people unkindly. I will always stand up for others. Like, set your values, set the tone for your life. But when other people step in and they start walking over that, or they start pushing you towards a line where you are going to compromise your values, that's the moment you don't. You stand up for yourself. It's non-negotiable. We don't change that. When we know our worth, we will not compromise our values for anybody, anywhere. And if there's people in our lives who are asking us to do that, they ain't your people. I'm just going to say it. They ain't your people. All right. So number 1, compromise your values. Number 2, set boundaries and do not let people cross them. For no reason. There's no reason why anybody would cross boundaries that you have set in your life. And so set the tone for your life, make it non-negotiable, but stop accepting people walking all over and stepping across the boundaries that you have created in your life, because they are there for a reason. And boundaries, here's the truth. Boundaries aren't really to keep other people out. They're to keep you in. They're to keep your space, keep you in a spot where you are allowed to live your life in a safe, in a good space where you know your worth, where your values aren't compromised. And so create boundaries, but yeah, they do keep other people out. But the reality is that they're there to keep you in the place that you need to be for maximum growth, to reach your potential, to become who you want to become. So that's really important. Number 2, boundaries. Number 3, we have to start creating space in our life so that we can reflect on where we're at. We live in this world, and if you listen to last week's episode, it's all about distraction. Go back and listen to that. But we live in a world today where our time, our minds are fragmented, our focus, our attention span. Last week I mentioned that our attention span is cooked. Well, the reality is that part of growth is awareness. And once we are aware of what's going on in our life, then we can move forward to where we need to go. But most people don't spend time reflecting on where they're at so that they can make microscopic adjustments to move forward. You don't have to make huge shifts in your life. It doesn't have to be a Herculean effort. You just have to find 1 second of strength to make those micro adjustments, those micro habits, so that you can move forward. And when you do that, you end up where you want to get to. So don't accept this world where time is fragmented, where you can't focus on where you're at so you can get to where you're going. Make it a non-negotiable. You will create space and time to reflect on where you're at in life so you can know how to move forward to where you want to get to. Number 4, stop accepting second best in your life. I think that this is a common occurrence, whether you're a teenager, whether you're an adult. Some of y'all have been accepting second best in your life your entire life. Maybe it's something that happened when you were little. Maybe it's, something with your parents, something with your dad, something with your siblings, friends, whatever, where you have beat yourself down and you've just accepted second place. We're not doing that anymore. There is no reason why you should come in second in your own life. I'm going to repeat that. I just want this to sink in. There are 0 reasons why you should come second in your own life. And that doesn't mean we don't serve other people. It doesn't mean we don't give of ourselves, but it does mean that we don't let other people walk all over us. We're not going to do that. You deserve first place. Stop accepting anything less. Stop accepting second best in your life. Number 5. Stop accepting negativity in all forms. There's a quote that says, a positive mindset doesn't necessarily lead to a positive life, but a negative mindset always leads to a negative outcome. And so the reality is that too many of us are allowing negativity in our life. And I'm just going to be honest, life is way too short to spend it in negative spaces. Whether that is gossip, which is a form of negativity, whether that is constantly judging other people and in real life or through social media. How many times are we scrolling social media and we see someone that we don't know? We literally have no idea. We've never met them. We just know their life because they've posted all over social media. How many times are we judging them? That doesn't hurt them. It doesn't. It hurts you. It hurts you if you're the one that's judging other people. So stop. Stop gossiping. Stop judging other people. Life is way too short with that. Stop spending time in toxic relationships where everybody is doing that. If you look around the circle of the people that you are surrounding yourself with, if they are always talking about negative things, or they're always being gossipy or judging, when you leave that circle, they're talking about you too. And that doesn't help. That doesn't help us be happier. So let's stop. Stop accepting negativity in your life of all forms. Gossip, judgment. It's just too short. Toxic relationships. Move beyond, move above. Talk with your friends about that. Hey, let's be positive. Let's not talk about other people like that. Be the one that changes that. And if nobody's willing to change and that's who they want to be strong enough to know your worth and walk away from those circles into a circle where you're going to be loved and where you can change that dynamic, because it is not worth your peace. I promise it's not worth your peace. Number 6, stop accepting excuses. Be accountable for your life. I've got a little 10-year-old. He's an awesome kid. I've noticed a little bit of a negative trend in him where he is placing blame and excuses on why he's not being successful for whatever. And every time I stop him dead in his tracks, nope, it's not them, it's you. It's you, it's you. Stop accepting excuses, especially from yourself. You're in the situation you're in. Yeah, something might have happened. You're in the situation you're in because of that's where you're at. Like the choices you made. Yes, sometimes other people do things to you, but you've accepted some of those. And I know this is hard, and every situation is going to be a little different. You can come at me on social media if you want, whatever. But the reality is that when you're accountable to the things that happen in your life, then you move forward in your life. We talked about in number 3 that we want to create space to reflect. Well, part of creating space to reflect is being accountable and not accepting excuses, especially not excuses from yourself. You're where you are because you're where you are. but you're also in control of where you're going. Where do you want to get to? And limiting and eliminating excuses is the way you get from where you're at to where you want to go. So number 6, excuses. We're not accepting them anymore. We're not accepting. Make it non-negotiable. Just be accountable, stand up, move on. And last and maybe most importantly, number 7 is to know your worth, to live your worth. We've got to stop self-hate. I think that one of the greatest, I don't know how to say it, one of the greatest travesties to this world is the amount of negative self-talk and negative self-hate we give ourselves. And I'm not immune to this, although I've spent a lot of time with mindset work and I've spent a lot of time adjusting and recorrecting course when I do start talking negatively to myself. But like I've said before, when you have negative thoughts, negative self-talk, then you are going to look for reasons why, to look for reasons to support that in your life. You're going to look for something that happened 15 years ago. And I remember what that coach said to me and he said I wasn't good enough, so I must not be good enough. Or, man, I remember when my mom got mad at me because I did this, so I must be worthless. And it's not true. Stop talking to yourself that way. Stop accepting the worst from yourself because you are the best at everything you could possibly want to do. Stop accepting the worst. But when we break that cycle, then we start to have positive behaviors. And when we have positive behaviors, we're going to have positive experiences. And when we have positive experiences, we're going to have positive emotions. And we start this wonderful trend towards happiness in our lives, towards knowing our worth. But if we are constantly saying negative things to ourselves, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to reinforce that with negative behaviors. And the next thing we're going to do, we're going to reinforce that with negative experiences. And then we're going to have some negative emotions, and all of a sudden we're sitting around looking why our life is miserable, why we're not happy. And the reality is because we chose to talk so poorly about ourselves. Stop. Make it non-negotiable. I will not say mean things to myself. Repeat it again. I will not say mean things to myself. I will not say mean things to myself. And when you make that shift, you'll start to see yourself for who you truly are, for the good, the wonderful, for all the positives that you have. And look, I know we all have rough spots. We have negatives in our life. We have things. But when you dwell on the negative, it makes it really hard to live the positive life that you want to live. Number 5 was to reject and stop accepting negativity in all forms. One of those is stop self-hate. Stop being negative about yourself, to yourself, because there is no space for that in your life when you know your worth, when you want to live your worth, when you want to move your life forward in a positive way. So I hope this helps you today. Share this with someone. Maybe there's other things that you've made non-negotiables in your life. I'd love to hear them, but share this with someone. Somebody needs this today, whether it's you, whether it's someone you love, your brother, your sister, your teenagers. But I don't know. I've just got a mission to help people change this world a little bit. It starts with me. Hopefully through this podcast, it transfers to you, and hopefully you can transfer that to someone else. So please do that. And if you haven't done so, please leave a rating and review for the show. And I'll leave you the same way I always leave you. Go find your 1 second of strength and be happy.